this could be one of the most dangerous setups of the year. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy Ritz here. Courage pays better than fear trading. And the markets are ripping here pre-market on March 25th. It's a Wednesday because of talks of peace between Iran and the United States. We are seeing some apparent progress being made, and apparently the United States has submitted a 15-point peace plan to Iran to try and negotiate a deal here, a ceasefire to end this conflict. And apparently Pakistan is hosting these negotiations between the countries, and the markets are loving it. We're seeing everything up right now. S&P futures were up at 1 point, 60 points, giving back some of those gains at the moment. Bitcoin was up around 1,200, giving back some of those gains at the moment. But here's the thing. This could be a massive bull trap because Iran is denying that any negotiations are taking place and saying that Trump is just negotiating with himself. And so there's nothing to confirm, and there's no way for us to confirm whether or not this is actually happening. Now, it does send a signal, potentially, that the United States does want to negotiate, that they do want peace, that they do want an end to this conflict. So that's a positive. But at the same time, it could all be posturing. It could be a ruse. We just don't know for certain. And so what potentially can happen, because war is still going on. There's still bombing. There's still missiles being fired. But what can happen is if you go too hard bullish right now, or if you load in too hard and there is no peace and this continues, you can end up trapped and in a position where you're left holding the bag. And the other part too to consider, when it comes to peace talks and negotiating a ceasefire, rarely when you look at history, are they worked out quickly in a few days, even a few weeks. It takes time to hammer out an agreement. Months. It takes months. So you got to be aware of that and not blindly say, well, this is over, we're headed higher. It doesn't work that way. And what we have to pay attention to is oil, because oil's been the indicator. When oil spikes above $100, that's when the pressure downwards on the market comes into play. That's when stocks drop. That's when we see the VIX rise. So we have to pay attention to that. And so by no means is this complete. But it's good to see that these discussions allegedly are occurring, because it means that this conflict is progressing. It's moving through the stages that we historically see with these types of conflicts. And if we're progressing through stages, that means we are moving towards the peak fear point, ultimately the resolution, and then the release of all the built up pressure, the volatility. Go ahead. And see, I'm nice. And then this thing can rally. But we just have to be on guard. We can't blindly say, hey, this thing is over, because that's not necessarily the case. So just be careful out there. Make sure you're paying attention to the headlines. And really the way that I'm playing this, and we're seeing that the 200 simple moving average on the indices, the 10-day exponential moving average on the indices, that is serving as a resistance. So every time the bulls try to push it above there, they are getting rejected. So that does send you a message. That tells you that the bears are still in charge right now. And so the way that I'm playing this is still being cautious. I'm selling calls against positions that I have on up days, because how we are selling back down. And I'm looking to buy puts when we have those pops higher because they're cheaper. Whenever that VIX drops a bit, whenever the volatility drops, I can get those at a better cost. So that's my way that I'm playing this right now, because I just can't trust anything long just yet. And as I've said, 10% is probably going to be the area where everything will magically align. Might be a little bit more, 12 to 14%. But you watch, when we correct that much, then you'll really see the progress come into play in terms of reaching an agreement. And we just have to monitor it from here, pick our spots, and see how things unfold. So that's what I got for you guys today here. I hope you are having a magnificent day. Just want to throw out there, going to be teaching a free class in April. Stay tuned. That will be announced here shortly. And then in May, I'm super excited about this, going to be teaching a day trading class, learn how to day trade in 30 days. So that's going to be spectacular. Looking forward to that. And I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, for watching, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing with your family and friends. It does mean the world to me. I appreciate it so much. And I'm about to get home and trade these lovely markets. So best of luck to you guys out there. I'll see you on the next episode of Driven. Make it a great day, honor the moment, and most importantly, be grateful. Take care, everyone.